And welcome back to the YouTube people. How are you all doing? I'm absolutely cracked off the pre-workout that I've just taken in the car. MV pre. My skin is tingling, but it's like a good kind of tingle. So I'm ready to get going with this session. Today we've got posterior. So this is a bit of a different session. Not everybody is going to have this in their training split. And you shouldn't watch this video and come away with it thinking, I need to do a posterior session. The reason that I'm doing a posterior session is because they are body parts that are generally weak for me. So it makes sense to have a day specifically to bring up those weaker body parts. Now, when I say posterior, I'm referring to every muscle in my posterior chain, which is basically everything from the top of my neck all the way down to my calves. Just everything from your back up and down. So that includes my upper back, my lats, my glutes, my hamstrings, and my adductors, and then I'll train biceps at the end as well. So posterior, a bit of adductors and a bit of biceps at the end. So yeah, the session includes adductor to start with, then I'll do a single leg standing hamstring curl, and then I'll do a hip hinge, which is a stiff leg deadlift, my favorite exercise of the week. And then I'll do a pullover, single arm pullover, and then I'll go into an upper back row on the Polaris machine, and I'll do a glute drive on either the Smith machine or the new machine they've got available, and then we'll move on to biceps, and that is it. So, as always, we'll run through each movement, certain cues for each one, and any other tips I can think of along the way. So, strap in, enjoy it. Any questions, drop them in the comments. As always, please like, subscribe, all the supportive stuff. Catch you in a bit. First exercise up, we've got the adductor, and you've got front row seats to the best view in-house right now. This is a bit too revealing. We're gonna run with it. See, the good thing about this adductor machine is, as you can see, there's not really much pad going on down here on the lower part of your leg. What you see a lot of people do is, with the majority of adductor machines, it's got like a little foot placement thing. They'll dig their heels in and really drive through that lower portion of their leg. And yes, you can move more weight, but you've got to ask, like, are you actually keeping the focus and intent on the adductors at that point? So this one's really good because it's just kind of got like little slots for your legs to sit in, but it forces you to put all of the pressure through these pads. And that's what you want to be doing on adductor machines. Putting all the intent through the pads that are next to your knees, basically. So as you can see, I'm sitting back. I'm not allowing myself to crunch down like that because it is very easy to do that. You want to sit upright, pull yourself into the seat as hard as you can, and literally just thinking about pressure through the pad. Slight pause in both the lengthened range, which is here, and the shortened range, which is there. Trusty gym pin. So just to clarify what I mean by shortened and lengthened range, because you might have heard a few people use that terminology in the past. When I say lengthened range, I mean when the muscle is fully stretched and in that lengthened position. So you've got to imagine, to be able to lengthen the adductor muscles, I need to open my legs. To be able to lengthen my bicep, I need to extend the elbow. To shorten it, I need to flex the elbow. See what I mean? So shortened range, lengthened range, tricep, shortened range, lengthened range. See what I mean? So when I'm saying pauses in both the shortened and lengthened range, that's what I mean. First set coming up. Just doing 2 sets here. Rep range is 10 plus, and this is 10 kilos up from last week. Goal is 10, like I just said. Reps, I'll take that. So next up, we've got a single leg standing hamstring curl. Now, this is a relatively new machine at the gym, but I'm a big fan of it. I actually kind of ended up doing this by accident because the line ham was taken one day, so I thought I'd give this a try. And based on previous standing hamstring curls I've been in the past, I don't really get on with them, but this one is very nice. I don't know why I'm surprised, because at the coach, all the machines are spot on. So we're just warming up here. But yeah, the goal is to try and keep my body a little bit more upright rather than hinging over at the hips. So keep my body nice and upright, and I'm just focusing on bringing up my heel to my bum. So when it comes to this machine and other standing hamstring curl machines, if you've got one at your gym, what you're going to see here is my hips are going to want to like tilt forward like that. You want to try to minimize that, because obviously at that point you're bringing in some lower back into it. So just really focus on bringing that heel up to your bum, trying to keep the majority of your upper body still, but you'll see from this set now that it's very hard to do that. So working set, let's see what we can get. So we've got 8 reps there. Goal is to obviously match reps now with the stronger side. So as I've spoken about in the past, with unilateral movements, you want to start with your weaker side, go to failure, and then match reps with your stronger side to give that stronger side a chance to catch up. Because likely, if you've got a stronger side, it's also going to be a bigger side. So if you're serious about physique development, you obviously want a balanced physique, especially if you're planning to step on stage at some point. Now, majority of people watching this most likely aren't, but you know, never say never. And who knows, 10 years down the line, you might want to step on stage. So it's worth considering these points now so you have a balanced physique. If you do want to step on stage, and even if you don't, nobody wants to look wonky, do they? So make sure you're doing your unilateral movements and allowing that weaker side to catch up. Easy. Now this is the highlight of my week, stiff leg deadlifts. So firstly, we're using the new Texas deadlift bar, which is a little bit longer than most bars, which actually allows you to lift more weight. I'm not going to go into the details of why, but basically the bar's got more whip, so you take the whip out of the bar first and then pick it up. But yeah, basically, long story short, because it's longer, you can lift a little bit more weight. I've actually been trialing out a new form with stiff leg deadlifts. So this is how I did it usually. You come here, you pull up, you drop it, you reset at the bottom, and then pull again. But what I'm trying now is, so you're kind of taking in that breath here, tap, and then drive up and through. So I'll show you my first one again. I was just kind of going, reset here. So yeah, now I'm trying this. Something I need to work on is that explosive power off the floor. Whoa, feel a little bit lightheaded after that. Let's add some weight. There's tripods galore at the moment. Got my fucking phone set up there. Got this one set up here. Just tilt you up a little bit. Just need to get this form spot on. So what I'm going to try and really do here is explode with a lot of power off the floor and just hope that my lower back doesn't give out. That would be fantastic. Feels good. Feels very, very good. Going for 190 for a working set. I'm a nervous man. However, this is gonna get fucking conquered. I feel it in my bones. Last time I did 180 for 7. However, that was with my previous form. So this is like a new form that I'm trying out where, like I said in the previous clip, I'm taking a breath in during the eccentric. Tap, slight pause, keeping the tension, not releasing my brace, and then driving back up and resetting my brace. Not at the top, but I'm bracing in during the eccentric phase. So that's what you're going to see here. Could go terribly wrong, could go brilliantly. We'll see, but yeah, 190 on the bar today. We'll see what we can get. Come on in. Fuck. So I got 6 reps there, but as you would have seen from the speed of that first rep, it's just so fucking slow. Like it feels like one of the last reps towards the back end of the set. So I really need to work on my explosive power in that first rep. If you've ever watched JP, Jordan Peters, pull from the floor, his explosive power is just fucking second to none. So I need to get on par with that. It's just practice. But yeah, back off here, 170, so 20 kilos less. The goal is 8 reps, so we'll see. So that was 170 for 9 reps, which is a rep up from last week. But as you'll see, that last rep, I literally got to about there and literally just couldn't drive my hips through. The thing with this bar is because it's so whippy, you can just feel it kind of bouncing as you come up. And I really noticed the difference when I've swapped my form to this one, but to be fair, I feel this more in my rectors, my lower back and my hamstrings. So yeah, I think I'm gonna run it up for a while and just perfect the technique over time. And hopefully in a year's time, we're gonna have some absolute tram lines going down my back. That's the goal.
So unfortunately at this point in the session, the mics decided to switch to the non-sound cancelling mode. So we're having to do a voiceover because the music was way too loud. So next movement up here, we've got the dual rope lat pullover. Now, if you're choosing to do this movement, I would definitely opt for 2 ropes or a longer rope just to increase the range of motion. But you can see here that my body is almost parallel to the floor. My elbows stay close into the body and I'm focusing on straightening my arms at the top to get a good stretch across the lats. And then as I drive my arms down, I've got a slight bend in my elbows, but I'm not extending then and straightening my arm because at that point you're going to be shifting the emphasis onto the triceps. Next up, we've got an upper back row, which is done on the Posterior machine here. So when it comes to any kind of horizontal upper back row, you want to set the height of the seat so your elbow path is at about this angle or even a little bit higher than this. But yeah, this is going to be a fantastic movement to target the whole upper back and the rear delts. So focus on flaring those elbows out and pinching your shoulder blades together as you come back, and then as you come forward, allowing your shoulder blades to roll forwards and get a good stretch at the bottom of each rep. Next up, we've got a glute drive on the Smith machine. So firstly, you want your back about midway up the bench, and then position your feet so they're about hip width apart, toes turned outwards slightly, and you want your feet far enough forward so your knees create a 90-degree angle at the top of each rep. And then as you thrust the weight up, think about contracting your glutes as hard as you can and almost tilting your pelvis up towards you. And that's going to help you really shorten those glute muscles and get the most out of the movement. Now at this point in the session, the mic started working again, so back to me talking more shit.
Next, moving up, a incline dumbbell hammer curl. Now the reason I'm doing it on a bench, to minimise the amount of torso swing and body involvement, I'm literally just locked in place and I'm thinking about curling dumbbells up and down, and that is it. When you're standing up, still going to be a good movement, yeah, but the likelihood of you kind of swinging to get the weight up is much higher, whereas if you can just sit down on a bench, you haven't got to worry about that. Now, if you want to build some fucking mega thick forearms, then this is a movement you have to include. So do dumbbell hammer curls, rope hammer curls, anything where you're in a neutral grip like this, you're going to be working this muscle that runs from your bicep into your forearm, your brachialis. So if you want some meaty forearms, do this. So elbow stays fixed in position. Up. So there's always a lot of talk flying around on whether machines are better or free weights. In my opinion, just do both. Machines are fantastic because they provide more stability, and usually the resistance profile of machines are better than free weights. But on the flip side, free weights, you'll be using more of your stabilizer muscles because you're not fixed in that path of motion that the machine wants to push you into. And they're just really fun. Like, I'm pretty sure if you're into your training, you enjoy just pressing some heavy dumbbells or pulling heavy weight off the floor. You know, free weights are fun. So why not get the best of both worlds and include both in your training plan? Now, whether you bias more machines over free weights, I think depends on whether you are dieting or whether you're pushing up, because if you're dieting, especially towards the back end of the diet, if you're getting pretty lean, like photo shoot lean or stage lean, you want to probably opt for more machines just because of that stability aspect. And because you're lacking in stability from the lack of body fat, you know, you can kind of make up for that by increasing stability in the movement through using a machine. So if you're dieting and you're getting pretty lean, maybe consider swapping out some free weight movements for machines, because they're going to be less fatiguing and they're going to have less of an impact on the session to follow. So just something to bear in mind. So next movement up, we've got this old school custom bicep machine. This machine is probably older than me and older than the majority of the members that come to this gym, but it feels fucking fantastic. And often, for some reason, the older machines are made better than the newer machines nowadays. And that's why I love training at this gym, because Nathaniel, the owner, it's got an awesome collection of like old machines, new machines, but they're all hand-picked, so he tries them out before he buys them. And you know, when it comes to picking kit and making sure that it feels good, he's the man. So everything you come on in here just feels exactly where it should. So don't be fooled by the rust on the machine. It would be rude not to get the fucking guns out, boy. My arms are a weak part, so this better fucking work. I mean, in terms of cues with this one, it's pretty self-explanatory. Get into the machine and just move where the machine wants to move. But no, in all seriousness, I'm trying to keep my elbow kind of on the pad. A little bit of lift up at the top is fine. I'm not extending all the way down just because I don't want to fully lengthen the bicep under that much load. So you'll see that the first position I bring myself into, I allow my body to come forward, and I just kind of like get the start position right and then go from there, rather than pulling straight from here, because you can see that my elbow, my arm is very straight and I don't want to get an injury. If you feel safe doing it like from here, then fine, but personally I like to kind of get the start position right and then go. Oh my word, that feels bloody insane. I don't like training arms, I'll be honest. I mean, I do, but in comparison to other body parts, it's just long. And thinking about it, the reason for that is most likely because I always tag them on at the end of sessions when I'm tired, when I'm fucked. So it makes sense, really. I've been thinking about running an arm-specific day because they are a bit of a weak part for me and I want bigger arms in general. So at the moment I train 5 days a week. So I've got 2 rest days. So I'm even thinking maybe include like a short arm session on one of my rest days. Literally just like 30, 45 minutes, blast my arms, and hopefully that will kind of like contribute to the total volume that I'm doing throughout the week and result in some juicy growth. Maybe. Right, so a little physique update. This is where we're at. Weighed in at 87, I believe it was about 87 kilos this morning. So when I finished, well, my lowest point on the photo shoot was 78-ish. So up roughly 10 kilos. And I mean, I'm not too unhappy with the condition that I'm in. I mean, still got visible abs. I fucking hope so at this stage of the push-up. But I did gain weight quite quickly post-photo shoot just because I kind of ate what I wanted to be honest. Then went on holiday, ate more shit, drank more shit, came back. Diet was a bit lackluster to say the least. But now I'm back on consistent calorie target and have been for the past couple of weeks. Just trying to get a little bit more consistency. So I'm roughly on 3,200 calories at the moment and body weight is kind of maintaining there. So we'll just kind of assess body weight over the next couple of days and then decide whether I need to push my food up and just take it on a week-to-week basis really. But I'll do some posing now just so you can kind of see what I'm looking like.
And that is it for today's posterior and arms and adductors session. A little bit of posing after. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you're taking away a decent amount of value from these types of videos. I'm gonna put a t-shirt on now because it's a bit weird. And as always, comment down below or DM me on Instagram if you've got any questions. If you're interested in working with me, joining the team to improve your physique, your lifestyle, your mindset, then I want to help you. I have a great passion for helping people just live a better life. That's what my coaching service is all about. And I can help you achieve those things. So if you're keen on leveling up your training and just taking everything to the next level, then DM me on Instagram. It's Jan_Pex, and we can have a chat about whether you're gonna be a good fit for the team and what I can give to you to help you achieve your physique and fitness goals in general. So we'll leave it there, little plug. Don't usually do that, but got to drop it in there every now and again. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.